a master's in sports medicine, and I was on medical staff at the at the Atlanta Olympics. So I know a little bit about what I'm talking about. So Arun, gets tortured by me routinely on runs, and so he asked me to come out here and talk to you guys. He said this is a fabulous group. They're really committed. Everybody wants to come out and run a marathon. So some of you guys are doing a half.
Yeah.
Some are doing a half, some are doing a whole. All right, so let me see the hands. Who's doing the half marathon? Okay. And everybody else is doing the whole marathon? Yes? Okay, so hands up, who's run a marathon here before? All right, awesome. So we've got some pros here. All right, so marathon's not really my favorite distance. I've done maybe 10. My friend Deb back there has done like, what, 15? 18, somewhere in there? She's done a bunch. So when we talk about preparing to run, the thing we think about with preparing to run is, I think about it in 3 phases. All right, I think about it in 1, waking my body up and telling my body, hey, it's time to run. We gotta get ready. We gotta get our muscles prepped. I think about it in 2, good form. All right, that's what we're going to spend the bulk of our time talking about this morning. And then number 3, what's in your mind? All right, because you got to think about positive self-talk. If you're thinking about negative self-talk and going, oh my gosh, this is so hard, I don't want to put another foot in front of my body, it's really hard to run 26 miles that way. So we're just going to start out. We're going to do a little bit of what we call reflexive performance reset. All right, so if you've got something in your hands, put it on the ground. All right, if you have something around your waist, that's fine. I want you to take your fist, all right, put it on your sternum, and I want you to scrub up and down. Scrub really hard, all right? It should hurt a little bit. What we're trying to do, there's fascia that contains all of our muscles, connects our muscles to the bones, and it helps us keep our shape, right? We can't have good form without good shape, all right? So we want this fascia that's holding our rib cage in place, and that sometimes is bound up, like when you guys are trying to breathe and you're having trouble getting a deep breath. You could stop and do this in the middle of a run. It'll help you get your breath back, all right? So now you're going to take your hands and cup them, and you're going to run right along the bottom of your rib cage, all right? So just kind of, you can see how I'm kind of curling my hand in there, like coming up and underneath, all right? If you feel like a spot that feels like a little sticky or it hurts a little bit, that's where you've got some fascia that's stuck. Get in there and dig, all right? All right, now put your hand on your belly, all right? And I'm going to watch you guys breathe, all right? So what I want you to do is I want you to take 5 deep breaths for me. When you take your deep breath, your rib cage should expand and your stomach should expand, all right? Because if we're just breathing here to here, like just here, we're not fully oxygenating our lungs. When we don't fully oxygenate our lungs, then the blood doesn't get into our bloodstream, our oxygen doesn't get into our bloodstream to fuel our muscles, all right? So 5 deep breaths. All right, let me make sure I see your rib cage expand, nice and expanded. It's okay, let that belly hang. All right. Okay, now I just want everybody to lean over and see how far you can go. Just relax, just kind of hang. Keep hanging, keep hanging, keep hanging. Good. All right, now stand up. All right, so when we talk about running, there's 3 primary things I want you to think about. 1 is expand the lungs. 2 is tell your glutes to do their job, because when you're running, you've got 2 primary functions, right? Back and forward. And the glutes are the muscles that bring your legs back. In order to turn our glutes on, we're actually going to come up here. There's these things called the occipitals, and I want you to take 2 fingers and scrub your occipitals really hard. All right, and just count to maybe like 10. Okay, stop, shake. All right, now go down again. Relax. You can get a little bit further. All right, awesome. Yeah. All right, so the last muscle that we're going to turn on is your psoas. All right, psoas is a muscle that actually sits sort of deep in the back of our abdominal cavity. It runs up here, and it actually comes up and it forms the diaphragm. For years, they used to think that it was a separate muscle, that the diaphragm and the psoas were separate. They've now done some live cadaver dissections and determined that it's a single muscle. So it's incredibly important, not only in bringing your leg forward, but also in improving your breathing function. Okay? So in order to turn on your psoas, I want everybody to find your belly button. Just take one finger and find your belly button. Take your other hand and come 2 inches to one side, doesn't matter which side, all right? And come in here, and you're just going to push on that spot. It might feel a little bit tender, that's okay. Come in. See if you can get there really deep, kind of sink your fingers in. If it hurts, that's not necessarily a bad thing. All right? Now find the same reference point on the other side. We're just going to do the other side. Okay, shake your legs out. Let's go down again. All right, good. All right. So almost all of you guys, as I'm looking, have gained a little bit of range of motion, gained a little bit of ease in your stretch when just doing those three things, all right? So you saw how long that took, right? It was, if you just did it to yourself without me talking you through it, it would maybe take you 90 seconds. So those are things that I like to do before I run out the door every time. Arun does it. I have my coach do it to him. He cries because she's really mean, but he survives. All right, so now we're going to talk about form, all right? When we are thinking about running form, running is really a series of one-legged poses, all right? All you're doing is you're balancing and trying to get power on one leg at a time. All right, so everybody show me your best one-legged pose. All right, so we are in the most stable position when our head is directly over the foot that's on the ground, right? So if I take my head away from that foot that's on the ground, what happens to my balance? Yeah, you kind of, a lot of you guys, when you're trying to balance and your head is over here, it's much harder, right? If I'm here, I'm in a position of stability, right? So as we're running, the thing I want you guys to think about is, as I run, I want to get my head over my plant foot every single time, okay? That's going to give me power to come through my big toe. That's going to give me stability. It's going to help reduce injury because it's going to prevent me from striding out too far. A lot of beginning runners think that, oh, wow, I would go a lot faster if I could step out further. But that's not true. We just actually lose a lot of efficiency when we step out further. All right? So what I want, let's have these ladies in the pink shirt, from those ladies run towards the stop sign. Everybody else, I want you to go to the white car, and let's just see a quick run, keeping your head over your plant foot, all right? So you guys go that way, you guys go that way. Let me take a look at what you got. Go ahead.
Turn back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good. All right. All right, good. That looked pretty good, everybody. So the next thing I want you to think about, all right, we're thinking about getting our head over our foot. We also want to make sure that we're landing with a nice neutral foot, all right? You don't want to be on your toes, all right, over the course of 26 or even 13 miles or even 5 miles. That's really hard on your calves. You don't want to be like my buddy Arun, and land really hard with every foot strike, because when you do that, not only do bad things happen to your feet, but you'll wind up with Achilles problems. A lot of times you'll wind up with knee problems, right? Bad things happen all the way up your kinetic chain. So you want to think about nice and light and midfoot strike. Okay, nice, light, midfoot strike. So the midfoot is, when I'm landing, I've got what I think of as a triangle, where I've got the ball of my big foot right under the head of my little toe, and right in front of my heel. I want that area to kind of contact the ground to get myself situated and ready to push off, all right? And when you push off, you're always pushing through your big toe and not your little toe, all right? So let's try it again. Take your run. You guys, the pink ladies and their friends, go this way. Everybody else go that way. Nice midfoot strike. So this young lady in the gray shirt is like really up on her toes.
Oh yeah,
You see her? Okay.
No, we're just practicing fun.
Oh.
Yes, she's got I'm one of those people. Okay. I'm one of those people. Okay. All right. Good job, everybody. All right. So you're looking to, like we said, you're looking for a place of stability so you don't get hurt. The next thing I want you to think about is, what do you do with your hands, right? A lot of people like want to do this big swing. They think they get more power from their swing. Really what we want to see, particularly for people that are doing long distance races, because you want to be in a position of efficiency and relaxation, is you want your hands to be sort of right in front of you, right? So if you are coming from your shoulders, my hands are just kind of bopping up to mid-chest and down to my hip, all right? I'm not really doing a lot of swinging. I'm not really doing a lot of this. I'm just kind of keeping my hands right in front of my body, just kind of coming up and down nice and easy, okay? Nice and easy. All right, so now let's put that together. Head over foot, midfoot strike, nice and easy hands, off you go.
Does this mileage count towards the weekend training run?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So for the most part, their hands are pretty good.
I think it's just the beginning, right? Towards the end when they're
Yeah.
tired.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys look good. Actually, like, you know, almost everybody's hands look pretty good. And that's one thing I want you to think about when you start getting tired, start getting to the end of your run. Think about what your hands are doing. One thing you'll find is that you can take this, what we call, like, it's a hook of hamate, is the bony landmark, but you could drive it down a little bit harder, right? You start getting tired, you drive that down a little bit harder. It'll help you get more power in your forward movement. Another thing is what we call the B fist. So if I take my hand, I fold my middle finger down to the middle. That's actually a trigger point. Any of you guys do yoga, you may use this point, but how we incorporate it in running is take the next finger, fold that down, take your pinky finger, fold that down, and then make like a loose OK sign. We call that the B fist, all right? When you are pressing hard into that point, it actually causes your glutes to fire harder. You get more power from your glutes. So you'll find that if you want to experiment with that. Deb's nodding because I've forced her to start doing that. Particularly when you're going up hills, so Braddock Road is nothing but a series of hills, as you will find out this morning. If you kind of use your power down and press into your palms, see if that'll help you get up the hills a little bit more this morning. All right? And the last parting thought I'm going to leave you guys with is what's going through your mind. All right? I think that people tend to run better the more that they can clear their mind, the more that they can relax with their thoughts, the more that they can be part of their body. We are all crazy busy people. You guys are all smart. You all have You know, you may have families, you may have careers, you may have a lot of issues going on. Sometimes it's so hard to clear your mind, right? Your mind is busy and you're running, you just can't relax. When you encounter that, I like to tell people to run with a mantra, all right? And so one I like is light and free and fast and easy. Light and free and fast and easy. But just something that is easy for you to remember. You know, if I feel like my feet are dragging, I'll be like, stride and pick your feet up, baby. Stride and pick your feet up, baby. So it doesn't have to be melodic. It doesn't have to be anything except it makes sense to you and it gives you something to think about and it helps you clear your mind. Okay?
I use whatever it
Yeah. Yeah. But you run like 100 miles at a time, so you're a special case. So, all right. So anyhow, so thanks for your time this morning. Good luck on your races. It was really nice getting to see all you guys and all your awesome running form. I think Arun sent out my info. I do individual coaching sessions. I also do video analysis if anybody's interested in a more in-depth analysis of their form and improvement. So that's it.
Yeah, one of the reasons why I run with less injuries or my longevity is because of Catherine fixing my form. And Deb
He's
and
a work in progress.
Still a work in progress. And Deb and I use that thing where we do that even for regular runs. Deb told me that
the beef is, yeah.
she did it for her half marathon, and I used it for my half marathons too. So for regular flat runs also I have used it, and it works a lot. It works really good. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you want to make sure that the middle finger is pushed hard into the center of your palm, sort of like where these two muscles come together. Other two hands, like other two fingers, fold over that finger, and then the thumb and index finger just super loose.
Yeah, actually, each and everything that she has told, we have incorporated at some point or the other.
All right. So anyhow, enjoy your run. You guys
Thanks
have
a lot, guys.